Alright guys, so today we are going to make an origami box. You will need a pair of scissors, something to write with, a ruler, a piece of paper. You can grab a toy because origami sometimes can be frustrating, but that can help you stay positive. So grab something fun to sit by your desk, and you're gonna need something to draw with and color. So first let's take a look at your ruler. You're gonna notice that there are inches on one side, and if we flip it over to the other side, you're gonna see cm for centimeter. We are gonna be using the inches side to measure. Now notice on my ruler, the 0 is not started at the end. So you're gonna have to look at your ruler and see, does your ruler go all the way to the end? Because then you'll be measuring with the edge. If it does not, like mine, you will be measuring using the 0. Okay, so we are going to need our paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and line up the edge of my paper with the 0, and I'm gonna go over to the 10. So locate the number 10 and that line right above it. We're going to make a dash right above the 10. And I always like to make at least 2 dashes to make sure that my line and my measuring is nice and straight. So let's do that same thing down again at the bottom. So line it up with the edge or with your 0. Make sure your ruler is straight. And then find your 10 and put a little dash. Now that you have your 2 dashes, you can lift up your ruler and make sure those 2 dashes are connected to the side. See how the edge of my ruler now, you can see both of those 2 dashes. And I'm going to draw a line by pressing down and nice and slow up against the edge of my ruler. And when I lift up, I have a line now to cut. So go ahead and cut that section off. Stay on the line as you're cutting. Good, so now we have 10 inches across and we want 7.5 going down. So let's measure. We're gonna find that edge of your ruler or the 0. Again, we're using the inches. And I need to locate the 7 and then the half. So you're gonna see the half is that dash in the middle right here. See that dash in the middle? It's a little bit longer. That's your half. It's halfway between 7 and 8. So locate that. We just did the 1, and then we need a second one. So line up with 0, come down 7.5. And same thing, I'm going to use my ruler, line up those 2 dashes, make a straight line up against my ruler, connecting those dashes. And now we're going to cut. Very good. Now you can set the ruler and the scissors aside, and we're going to be folding. So set those aside. And the first fold we're going to do is taking the edge of our paper over to the other edge. And when you crease, you want to make sure that you go over it a couple times. And now we're going to make sure that our fold now is at the bottom. See how this part is open at the top. And we're going to take this fold and move it up to the top of your paper. Crease it a few times and then open that up. Now we're going to take the corners and move it to that line that we just created on each side at the bottom. So there's 1 and 2. And we're also going to crease it at the top. So take just this 1 piece and take that to the same line. And the same thing on this side. We're going to take this corner and bring it to that line. All right, now we're going to take this section here and crease it. So fold that over. And then open it back up. Same thing, we're gonna take this side here. We wanna have a crease there as well. So fold that over. And then open that back up. This top flap here, we're going to fold down. And now this part is a little challenging, so lean on your little toy friend if you get frustrated. But I want you to think of just a little line here is all we want. We just want to crease this line in half. So we're just dealing with this square here, and we want it to be, if I were to draw the line, just a crease from corner to corner. That's all we're going to be folding. So in order to do that, I just kind of put my finger in the corner here, and again, I'm just creasing this top square. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So if I were to want a line going that direction, same thing. I'm just gonna kind of put my 2 fingers in those corners and crease. All right, good job. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this. And then look, now we've got this cool little pocket happening. So we can start to open it up and start to form our box. So here is gonna be a wall. Same thing here. So you can kind of just start to form your box a little bit. And then we've got these open sections here with the triangles that we just made. So if you just squeeze them together, guess what? We can tuck this now into the side. And same thing over here. Squeeze those 2 together, and then you can tuck that as well. And you've got yourself a little box. So to test out your box, you can put some of your art supplies, see if it'll hold up. Oh, very cool. So now we want to decorate. So you can decorate your box however you want. I'm gonna turn this one into Pikachu. So in order to do that, I'm gonna draw his eyes, which are circles. And then inside his eyes, he has 1 more circle. So draw a smaller circle. And then for his nose, it is just a really small dot. And then for his mouth, I'm going to do a W shape using curved lines. And he's super happy, so I'm gonna bring his smile down to the center, make a little dash, and then make a big curved line. I'm also gonna put a little line right here, so when I'm coloring, I can make his tongue 1 color and the back of his mouth another color. And then his little cheeks, you can definitely do some big circles to the side of his mouth. There's 1, do another. And when I'm drawing, I kind of have my fingers on the inside here because I know it is kind of hard to draw on the side of your box. Just do the best you can. You could always too cut things out as well. So Pikachu has those giant ears, and you can use a scrap piece of paper that we just cut off at the beginning. And if you fold it in half, that's my trick to making things similar. And then I'll draw the ear shape. So his ears are kind of pointy. So I kind of drew a leaf shape. And since it's folded, when I go to cut it out, I'm going to have two. So chop off the bottom. And then you can use your glue or your tape, and you could tape on things on the side of your box. So you can definitely use your scrap piece of paper, and you can use all your colors to add color.